Hi guys, Kar Yong here and welcome back to another episode of Stocks in Focus. This week will be a very interesting topic because we'll be looking at one of the instruments that the Wall Street bets traders are also talking about, and that's none other than the silver trade. Okay, so what I'm going to do, of course, is to break down my analysis, my process, to share my personal view on silver, in particularly SLV, which I'm invested into, and if this thing here, the silver squeeze, okay, by the Wall Street bets is gonna happen, then it'll benefit my position a lot, right? I'll be very happy with it. I won't complain, okay. But I think it's also important to walk you through as to why I'm personally looking at silver from a more proper way and approach towards trading and investing, and of course not too much of a speculation perspective, okay. And I hope through this video you'll be able to pick up something or two, okay, while we are of course riding on a hype on silver. Okay, so over here you can see on my screen is that this is actually a news article, right? As recent as of today, 1st of February. Okay, so basically the idea here is reporting about, you can see, right, futures on the silver futures has rallied as much as 8.5%, going towards $29 on Sunday evening. Okay, and of course that's discounting, like last week it did another 6% rally, right? And the idea here is it really that this Wall Street bets traders are pumping into silver? Okay, we won't know, okay, but if you ask me, I think the silver market is a little bit huge for such squeeze, okay, but at the same time you do see the power where if there's a big enough demand coming in a relative short period of time, you do see that pushing prices as well, okay. So over here you can see, right, the hashtag here right now is silver squeeze, okay, and of course this video here is recorded to also write on the trend, and of course I would like to use it to provide some educational value as well. Okay, so whether today you're looking at like buying silver coins, buying silver itself, the CFD, or even looking into the ETF SLV, I think this video here will give you some insights and perspective as to the different approaches, the different angles of analysis as to why silver is something that, even without the Wall Street bets hype, you would naturally want to focus on. Okay, so let's take a quick look at the sentiment, okay, and this one here is the COT report, Commitments of Traders report, in a very simple summarized version. Okay, it's basically reporting the order flow, the buy and sell orders on the futures market, okay. And over here, what you really want to focus on is the net position, which means that if you take the long, you take the short, you put them together, the summation of it, is it positive or negative? Okay, so if it's positive, it just means that there are more buyers. If it's negative, it means that there are more sellers. Okay, and what you observe over here, of course, is that silver futures position has been increasing, which tells me that even without the Wall Street bets coming in, okay, this large speculators has already been buying up silver futures, has already been accumulating onto it. Okay, and this is the latest data here. You can see the net position as of now stands at 54,000. Okay, and it has increased pretty much from like 40 plus to right now 50 plus. Okay, so from this perspective, it's already telling me that silver, you might want to hold on to a bullish perspective. Okay, and if I bring you to the technical charts, I am personally invested in SLV, which is an ETF of the silver. Okay, and this daily chart here, you can see, the price movement has already been starting to move since last week because of this. Okay, and right now the price isn't really reflective yet because ETF market is now still closed. Okay, but I'm not suggesting whether you should be jumping in, when the market open, depending on when you watch this video. But I would really love to give you that process, okay, of what I use to analyze and make the decision to actually invest in SLV. Okay, and if you take a look, I'll show you this, right? If you take a look at the weekly chart, back in 2008, 2009, when the previous financial crisis happened and the Federal Reserve came in and print tons of money, okay, to kind of stimulate the market, you can see what happened to silver, right? And of course, if you take a look at the gold chart, it looks more or less the same. Back then, from 2010 onwards, you do see that silver actually rallied very, very significantly. Okay, somewhere between $17, it rallied all the way towards $48. This is on SLV. Okay, and that's the effect of what we call devaluation of a currency, which when the central bank starts to print a lot of money, it increases the supply of the currency. Okay, the value of that currency naturally will drop. Okay, and if you take a look at what happened recently, of course, in 2020, the Fed has also started printing a lot of money. Okay, and that would naturally lead to a devaluation of the US dollar, and with that similar effect, okay, that's where I expect the silver to actually rally up back to its previous high in 2011, which is $48 about better, right? And of course, right now the topic here is, will this hit 1,000? Okay, now I highly doubt that there is able to kind of like silver squeeze it to 1,000, because silver is a much bigger market relative to like GameStop. But I do think that with sufficient demand coming into silver, again, the market operates as demand and supply, it will naturally push price up. Okay, but the question is whether is it going to hit 1,000 in such a short period of time. I highly doubt that. Okay, but I wouldn't complain if it does it, right? Because I do have positions running over here as well already. You can see one position is around $22.70. The other one I entered slightly on the high side at $26.50. But again, these are not speculative trade. I'm putting my positions in SLV because I look at the macro, I look at the fundamental, and of course the historical pattern over here. Okay, I understand that with what the Fed is doing right now, and of course even on a more serious tone, whether the dollar will be replaced, will the dollar still be the global reserve currency, we don't know. Okay, and there will be an inflationary pressure coming in the future. Okay, and the position for me on silver is really to play on to all these factors. Okay, and recently with WallStreetBets coming in, to be honest, I'm a little bit excited as well if they decide to push this up for me. Okay, and I do receive some questions because the traders who are in our community are also kind of like having this position. Okay, they are also anticipating this, and I receive a question as to how would I manage this trade if it starts to rally sharp, right? Will we have, because we shared our target as well, right? Will we have our take profit still at $48, or should we remove it, and how to manage it? Okay, so for me, okay, I would like to just share this with you is that my personal perspective is that I would take massive amount of profits off the table when it hits $48 if it hits there. I would say maybe take off about 75% of my position. Okay, kind of like to protect whatever profits I have, I take it off the table. I'll leave about 25% of my position to run, and of course, if it hits $1,000 or even $100, I'll be very happy on that. Okay, but okay, that's the part of trading investing, right? Wouldn't want to hype things up a little bit too much over here, but really want to give you the perspective through a proper process and technique, okay, of the reason why I'm looking at silver, why we already have those positions running. Okay, so I hope again this video provides you some insight into that. Okay, and of course, if you have yet to subscribe and like this video, we'll really appreciate if you can click on the like button, and of course subscribe to the channel. Make sure you click onto the notification button so that when I release subsequent videos related to investing, trading, and finance, you'll be the first one to be notified, and you'll be updated according to what's happening in the financial market, be it an educational material or perhaps an opportunity like this. Right, so if you have any questions, feel free to leave it in the comments below, and of course if you are also riding on SLV or anything related to silver, okay, drop in the comments below as well. Let me know what position you're in, and I'm really excited to see how this trade can potentially play out. So with that, I'll see you guys in the next episode of Stocks in Focus.